and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. And if you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. All right, we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, we have the Seven of Cups. We have the Devil. We have Strength. And we have the Four of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I'm getting a couple different messages with this reading, and I'm going to do my best to articulate all of them as clearly as possible. So first, let's start with the cards on the table here. So we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is more action-oriented. It's somebody who follows their passion. It's ruled by fire. It's a very passionate, very fiery energy in the sense that this is somebody who is very driven, very ambitious, very much has dreams and goals that they are going out and actually taking the reins of their life and making those decisions to achieve those goals. And it's also somebody who's very curious, could be somebody who sometimes shifts their direction frequently, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as you remain focused on what you're trying to achieve. The good thing about switching directions a lot is that you don't get bored and you are able to sort of cherry pick these different experiences in your life and learn from them. But the downside of being someone who changes directions a lot is that lack of consistency that can actually get you to your goal. I'm seeing that you're falling a little bit into both energies here because the Queen of Wands isn't the King yet, and the King is the one who's mastered these sort of scenarios, whereas the Queen is the tier right before that. Whether you're masculine, feminine energy, male, female, whatever. This isn't about the gender of the card. It's more about the energy of that energy. The energy of that energy. Wow. I think you get what I'm trying to say. And then we have this, gosh, I'm so bad with Roman numerals. 7, there we go. It's also hard to read upside down because everything looks backwards. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups here, which is the window shopping card where you can literally, kind of what I said before, cherry pick whatever you want. You have all these different areas that you're able to manifest. But this card also deals with illusion. And not only illusion, but delusions in the sense of things being delusional, hidden meanings, being in false realities, looking at things from only a certain perspective that skewed that type of energy. It has both connotations. And I'm seeing that you are, again, sort of in this duality where you're having to sort of keep that ambition and that sort of curiosity and passion for what you're doing, but also remaining grounded and making sure that you are taking the actions towards what you're trying to accomplish. And I'm seeing here with the Devil card and with Strength and with this, is that the 4 or the 6? The 4. The 4 of Swords, that you're having to balance your strength and your rest. You're having to balance between your curiosity and your consistency, your strength and I guess like overworking yourself. All these different dualities sort of energies, especially when it comes to your success and however you view that. And I'm seeing with the Wheel of Fortune here that the wheel has already begun to turn into a different direction. And so the Wheel of Fortune is very much, if you are feeling very in a negative energy and you're tired and you're frustrated, remember that all things can't stay the same forever. Eventually the wheel has to turn again. I don't know if you heard that notification, but there's spirit being like, yes, that. All things end at a certain point. Just like when you're at your highest high, eventually something's going to happen that's going to make you maybe feel a little less happy, or maybe you get bored. That's all part of the natural cycle of having these natural ups and downs, these natural rest periods and fast-paced periods, these planning periods and these action periods. You're being asked to kind of find the duality and the equality and that reciprocal energy where you're balanced in these duality energies. So that's the first message. The second message I'm getting is that you have to stop assessing your own success based on your comparison to other people. And I'm seeing that's very prevalent here with this Seven of Cups and the Devil card. And a really good way to look at this is, somebody brought this up recently. I don't remember exactly where it came from, but they were talking about how when you watch ducks swim on a pond, they often look like they're floating and they're just sort of like bee-booping around, but you actually don't know how hard they're kicking and paddling and how much effort they're actually putting in to doing that, to having what looks so simple and easy and smooth. There may be a lot more effort going on below the surface, and their little feet may be really going to keep themselves afloat or to keep themselves balanced. And with that, when you're comparing your success to somebody else, you have no idea, even if it presents itself a certain way, how successful they really are, or how successful they feel, or what they're actually going through, or what they're having to do in order to maintain that success or to get to the next level. There's often these sort of hidden facts behind this illusion of success that we see in other people. And a really great example that comes to mind that I can give you of my own personal life is, I had a friend and mentor who was in the entertainment industry back when I lived in Los Angeles. And we worked on a project where the project was just like, from the get, it was very hard. It was everybody didn't really seem to work the best together. There was a lot of miscommunication, a lot of changes having to be made. It was a very tight budget. It was just one of those projects that, like, for all intensive purposes, it should have gone great because of all the people who are attached to it and the drive and the story and all those things, but it didn't quite get to where any of us really wanted it to go. And during that time, I brought this person onto this project because they were a mentor of mine. And I felt that they were a lot more savvy in certain areas that would complement my knowledge on this particular project. And we ended up batting heads a lot. We ended up disagreeing on a lot of things. There was a lot of miscommunications and a lot of just, the energy was not in a flow state on that entire project. Not just with me and that person, but like kind of with everybody. Unfortunately, it was one of those projects where everyone sort of left disappointed, and that happens sometimes. But at the end of it, when it was all said and done, the person that I brought onto the project came over to my house at the time. And we were sitting on the front porch of the house. We were talking about the project and how he was kind of disappointed. And he's like, well, I just want to apologize because I feel like I maybe didn't work on this project as well as I could have because I was jealous. And I looked at him, and this is somebody that to me was extremely successful, had a very great career. They had been living in LA for many, many years. They had already established themselves in my mind. And meanwhile, I'm over here. I had just moved to LA recently. I had just moved into a new place where I was living with 6 other people and 50 billion cats. And we were living in this like really old house in the middle of Hollywood. I had a mattress on the floor. I was half sharing a room with another person. It was like, to me, not the ideal, like when you think of the Hollywood lifestyle, that was not it, right? And so I was very confused, and I was like, okay, what were you jealous of? And he said, I'm jealous of you. And I think that's why we were butting heads, because we've never butt heads before. And I was like, what? You're jealous of me? Why are you jealous? What do you have to be jealous of me for? And his response was, well, you're just going out there and doing it. Like, you're following your dream and doing what you want to do. And I was like, but aren't you doing the same thing? And he said no, because apparently he was very unhappy with his job and he was not happy with his career. And I guess he was doing a lot of business side of the entertainment industry and wanted to be more in the creative. Meanwhile, I had no idea about this. He had no idea about my situation. And we ended up laughing about it because I said, well, you don't want to be jealous of me. And I started telling him about my current situation. I think that was also during a time when I still didn't have consistent work. So, because I had just moved there. So my money was up and down. I was in a lot of debt because I had moved out with very little money. And so it's a good example because meanwhile, I'm over here comparing my success journey to his, and he hates his success journey, and he's comparing it to mine, and I hate mine. So it's just a good lesson to learn in the terms of stop comparing your success to other people, because oftentimes what you see on the surface is not what's really going on. And often it's an illusion, and there's a lot more that goes into that and what that looks like than what you're initially seeing. And so as you're going about making your decisions in terms of your success, you want to make sure that you are defining success by what makes you happy, not based off of how much money you have or putting all your value into the material things of your life or like your accomplishments or making your success your identity, because you're a lot more complex than that. And I feel like this is a warning because you're about to step into this new chapter and you're going to be bringing in a lot more abundance and a lot more, like your manifestations are on a higher tier. So you're going to have to be more aware because you're going to manifest things a lot faster, and you need to be aware of what you're manifesting, because if you fall into that negative energy, you're going to start manifesting that. And so with this new chapter, it's sort of a warning here to make sure that you're keeping yourself balanced and on track, and you're not comparing your journey to someone else's, and you're defining your own definition of success based off of your values, who you want to be, what you desire, and what you have decided is important in your life. And that definition is going to evolve and change as you do, and that's okay. But don't fall for the illusions of success. Make sure that you are realizing that there's a lot more that goes into that than just the surface level. So I don't want to make this reading too long. And also, I don't think it's going to really pull anything new for you unless it just does a 180 and flips into a completely different reading, which we have had happen before. But I think I'm going to leave it here and let you marinate on this situation and see if there's any areas in your life where you were doing those comparisons and release them. Because that's also putting chains on yourself in a way that is unintentional, and it's going to cause obstacles in your path that just don't need to be there. And so take some time to figure that out. Your affirmation for this reading is, I am not comparing my success journey to anyone else. I define my own definition of success. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.